Welcome to Subramani. When will the market go into a bear territory? Is a question which people used to ask regularly. Now the question which people are asking is, will the market go into bear territory? I really don't have an answer to that, because maybe if the current BJP government did not have 240 or 250 seats and they were maybe 220, and they had a weaker coalition, maybe market could have gone into a bear territory. I don't see any internal reasons. Of course, externally there could be anything why the market could go into a bear phase. I'm not here to talk about when we are going into a bear phase. I'm here to talk about the role of an advisor in a bear phase, and I think all advisors should be prepared for that. First of all, if the market falls 5% in one day or 3% in one day, it is not a bear market. Also, everybody in the press talking about the huge volatility in the market, saying markets are so volatile that one day it fell by 4% or 3%, and the previous day it had gone up by 3.5%. So it didn't really matter, but people were talking about a huge volatility. There was no volatility at all. RBI did not do anything unexpected, so I don't think there was going to be any great change in the debt market also. So interest rates have been left unchanged, and that's how the market is, right? So I'm talking about what should an advisor do when the markets are down. See, when the markets are up and doing well, there is no anxiety from the customer about what is happening. In fact, if most customers should be looking at absolute returns and saying my goals are being met and I am happy. That is how it goes. But what happens is, during a bull market, it does not matter whether you chose a multi-cap fund or a flexi-cap fund or a balance advantage fund or even a multi-asset fund. All of them have given good returns. Upwards of 12-13% is what when people expect. If it gives you 15, 16, 18, 20, it doesn't really matter. That is what has happened. However, when the markets are down and people have lost money, imagine telling a person who has lost 50 lakhs or 1 crore or 1.5 crores that the market will come back. That's fine. But think of a guy whose money you invested heavily into equity last year and the market is down by 10% and he has lost money and he is already retired, right? So when such a big chunk has gone out of his capital, how will he react? That is the question to ask. Or how will she react? That is the question to ask. People ask me one thing about advisory. I don't like the fact that advisory is being regulated or trying to be regulated by a regulator who is supposed to regulate products like mutual funds, right? So why am I not a registered investment advisor? Because I don't want a regulator telling me how many clients I can have, what documents I should keep, and what fees I should charge. I don't want to be regulated. I am regulated by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, who do not tell me all those things, right? Advisory regulator has got to be different from a commodity regulator. That apart, that is my problem. What should an advisor do during bear markets, right? That's a difficult question to answer. You should handhold and tell a client, look, like a roller coaster. The first time you go into the roller coaster, yes, maybe you will scream and then you will swear to yourself that never again, I will never sit on this roller coaster. But then at the end of the journey or end of the maybe 3-minute journey, you're saying, can I go back and sit there maybe after 3 months, 6 months, 8 months? So we are all people who have sat in a roller coaster, screamed at the first dramatic fall, and then recovered, and then gone to the roller coaster time and time again, to different roller coasters in different locations, not knowing exactly what is going to happen. We have screamed and come back. But if you have been through the same roller coaster 4-5 times, then you don't scream. You just say, oh, it's a great opportunity, let me just enjoy. And in the worst case scenario, what can you do in a roller coaster is keep your eyes shut, because then you do not know what's happening. Of course, the very fun of screaming is gone, but that is one thing which you can do. Now, in a bear market where the client has already lost money and the client is already paying you fees about saying what to do, it's really a difficult task to handhold the client, but that is exactly the role of an advisor. What an advisor should do is say, look, in absolute terms, you will have money for all your goals. We have made sure that there is enough money in debt and enough money in gold for you to breach any deficit for your daughter's education, which is after 3 years, right? So making sure that you explain the portfolio and the purpose for which it was created. The portfolio was not created to beat a Prashant Jain or a Naren or anybody else, right? That is not the purpose. The purpose is not relative performance. The purpose of creating a portfolio is absolute performance and to meet the goals. That is the only thing which you have to do. You have to get returns greater than the money invested over a long period of time, subject to inflation and taxes, which means you have to get a real return with which the client is able to meet his normal goals which have been agreed upon. If the goals are unnatural, too big, then you have to tell the client at the beginning that this is not going to be achieved. If you think the goals can be achieved only with a 24% CAGR over 4 years, there is something wrong with the goal or the amount of money that you are willing to commit to the goal. This you should have done during a bull market, right? During a bull market, you should have told the client what can happen and what can't happen. Once you have done that, then in a bear market, it is easy to tell the client, look, I told you will get about 8-9%, maybe 12%. So a 24% was not going to happen. So some of these goals can't be met. This can't be told in a bear market. This should have been told in a bull market. In a bear market, he'll think you are changing the rules of the game. You are not. These rules of the game were set long back, and you were supposed to do this, right? You didn't do this. You didn't hear the client, or you were in a hurry to close, so you just agreed to his 18%, 24%, whatever he thought he will get, right? It can't get. So similarly, when there is a decline, there is a reason why there is a decline which we may not know. It could be anything, could be a weak government, could be something going wrong internationally. Any of those things could be the reasons. We may not understand what is happening. So listen to what fund houses have to say. That is what you can convey to the client, right? Understand what is happening, what the fund managers are saying, what the Reserve Bank is saying. Listen to all that, and then give the reasons to your client and saying, because of this is happening. I mean, we have always told the client that markets are subject to risk, which can, your returns are subject to market risk, right? So you should have said that market is risky. We have had a fantastic bull run. It can, the bear markets can hit anytime, right? Preparing the client for all this should be done in a bull market, not in a bear market, right? Fees that you charge. A client needs two people. One to make him, push him and say, let us do this, right? Let us do this SIP and things like that. Another person who will decide how much in equity, how much in, this person has to do all the asset allocation, etc. And another person who will pick the funds and will choose the fund managers. One person may not be competent, but for small investors, the role of an advisor who is also the asset class picker remains the same. Big family offices have separated this, so you have to choose where you are, at what stage of life you are. If this person chooses ETFs and passives for you, so that is better, but it doesn't mean that it is only passives and ETFs which are going to work. I mean, I am fully invested in mutual funds and direct equity. I don't have anything else, right? When the markets are humming, doing well, you don't need an advisor. Anybody picks up anything, it does well. What happens is when you are, to instill confidence in clients, first of all, the advisor should have conviction. I know many advisors who are afraid of equity markets, who don't understand equity markets, who keep saying things like, now that you have got so much return, you should remove money, etc., etc., who may not have connected the goals and the investments. When you have not done that, you are going to be in trouble, because when you sell, after that, if the market goes up, the client is going to feel bad, and after, as soon as you invest, if the market goes down, again the client is going to feel bad, because you as an advisor promised that the client will get at least so much return, and you knew what is going to happen in the market. None of us do, right? So you have to have conviction in equity markets. You should have invested in equity markets for a long time. So for me, it is easy to talk about equity markets, fluctuations, etc., but I don't talk with the same confidence when I talk about real estate or F&O or cryptocurrencies. I don't do any of those stuff, definitely not in a big way. So I have no conviction that real estate is a fantastic way to invest. In fact, I have done videos to the contrary. Maybe it works for somebody, maybe it works for you, maybe it does not work for you, but the conviction has to come from within. The client should not hear lack of confidence and worries, right? It should not be there in your voice. Or if you go and say, no, the market is so bad, I removed some money and put it into bank FD or stuff like that, he's not going to be convinced that he should stick around during bad times. So preparing for what is going to happen during bad times is necessary. Preparing the client for bad times or bad times is necessary during bull markets. Bull markets are fine, everybody is happy, everybody is saying, oh, my advisor has given me great returns. All that is happening, that is exactly the time when you should be preparing the clients for a bear market. Is this a time to be preparing clients for a bear market? I don't know. I don't know the timing of this video. I could be just lucky, or I could be wrong by a year or two. It does not matter to me. I'm just saying, get prepared, talk to the clients that in the down market you will still have money to meet all your goals. It has been kept separate, and since your daughter's education is 3 years away, we have already kept about 50% of that in debt instruments, and another 50% is coming through an SWP. Therefore, we will meet her fees requirement. This is much better than saying, oh, we have a new government, it is sworn in, it is very strong, I think the market will go up. You may think, but what happens in reality could be very different. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan till you get punched in the face. Be careful. The market is very likely to punch us in the face. Thank you.